Hello everyone and welcome to another video. In this channel we're going to talk about the Rings of Power yet again, because we are all focused on Tolkien here on this channel. But let's just say that today we are talking about that time of the year when we all have these announcements made by the major award ceremonies and all that. And this time we have the announcement from the Golden Globes, which is like a sort of a major award out there for movies and entertainment in general. And even though I don't believe in all these things, I think that they have become just fake crap. Well, it's even more hilarious for that reason what we are going to talk about here in regards to the Rings of Power. So without any further ado, let's dive into this. In their television section, the Golden Globes announced for the Best Television Series Drama category, other shows like Better Call Saul, and of course we've got their House of the Dragon, the HBO spin-off, slash sequel, slash side project to their Game of Thrones successful TV show, and there is nowhere, absolutely nowhere, anything, or any hint, any indication, anything about the Rings of Power. And considering that House of the Dragon is listed here in this category of drama, well, it stands to reason, right, that they should also have the Rings of Power there, should it have been nominated, but it didn't get any nomination whatsoever, which of course tells us that this show is crap, as we have been saying for all this time. But not only that, if you pay attention also to their other lists of nominees, we've got for Best Actor, nowhere to be seen any hints of Halbrand or Arondir or any of those blokes there. And if you also pay attention to the list of Best Actress in a television series, nowhere do you see Morfydd Clark or Sophia Nomvete or any of those guys that are supposedly so diverse, so stunning and brave, so wonderful. They acted so beautifully this thing that they should be there, right? Well, even though many people praised Sophia Nomvete's acting and also Ismael Cruz Cordoba's acting as well, we can see that they didn't make the cut. They were not good enough for the Golden Globes. And I understand that awards such as this one, you know, the Emmys, the Oscars, all those awards, I know that they are scams most of the times, you know, that they are fixed up, that people buy them, maybe. We don't have any confirmation of that, but we can safely say that that might be the case. Yeah, I understand that they are rigged, that there is corruption in them. I know and understand that. But it's even more hilarious for that reason that we don't get to see the Rings of Power here. Because you would expect that if that is the case, then a company as powerful as Amazon really is, they will have no problem buying these awards. And yet, with all that power, the Rings of Power is powerless. And they don't have anything at all to show for it. And it's also hilarious because this, in a certain way, also confirms what the fandom had been saying from the very beginning, and that is that the Rings of Power is just a crap show, that nobody cared about it, and that all that paraphernalia going on in the usual shill media sites, well, it was only that, shilling for this thing, because it was against the fandom, right? Calling them Easternphobes, calling them toxic, all that stupid thing that we have every single time that the fandom goes against any of the new properties. And you can expect that next year with Indiana Jones, for instance. You can expect that to be the case now that DC is getting rebooted by the James Gunn regime and all that. So it's the usual standard procedure for the current times. That also tells us that the Rings of Power may have fallen the narrative and the playbook to a T when it comes to trying to promote this show, talking about the diversity, talking about the agenda, filling up for it, and all that. But at the end of the day, what really matters is what the fans say about it, and whether it is an accepted show or not. And the numbers never lie. And in this case, I believe that what has happened with the Rings of Power tells us, informs that it is the case that this thing was terrible. It was a huge mess, a huge disaster. Many people are calling season 2 something of a reboot, and considering also that it has been announced that some of the Wheel of Time directors are taking part in season 2, well, you can expect this to be another major disaster. So, good for the Golden Globes that they didn't nominate this thing for anything. And even if you were expecting like the quality of the images, the photography, the use of special effects would have a hand in nominating this show for something, well, normally those technical things, that would be something the Rings of Power or a show like this one would be nominated for. Well, not even that. They didn't even make the cut for that one. They didn't make the cut for anything. So it's just happy, It's something wonderful to look upon that they didn't get any nominations at all. You mean that their print armour didn't have anything? You mean that their excessive use of CGI had nothing? Do you mean to tell me that their poor use of choreography didn't have anything there? No nominations? Well, no, they didn't. And we can all be glad that that was the case. Of course, that is only my Viking view. Let me know yours down below in the comments. Thank you very much all for watching, and I will see you next time.